everyone. Happy Friday. I know it's early in the morning for us to be live on Mavens of Manufacturing, but we have a very special guest today. Her name is Sheronda Carr. She's the VP of Membership for the Society of Manufacturing Engineers, or SME, as we like to call it. And I'm just super excited that you're here, Sheronda, because it has been a journey for both of us with your technical difficulties and both of our schedules. When we tried to pre-record the episode, what was it called? The blue screen of
The blue
what?
screen of death. I got the blue screen of death on my Dell laptop, so I had to get a new one.
And then you showed me the picture of the actual screen, and they have like a frowny face on it. And I was like,
it's insane. So if anyone ever gets that screenshot of a sad face on their computer, just know that you need a new one.
Yeah. And I don't think the frowny face helps. Like, that's not. I was kind of mad for you when you showed me that picture. But if you're in the comment section, we already have a bunch of people chiming in. Let us know where you're tuning in from. If you have questions during this conversation, be sure to drop them in the comments too, because Sheronda has got a lot of information about SME, and it's a great group. So I just want to start off. Let's say hi to a few people first. We have Stephen Rogers. Yay, I made it. We're glad that you're here. We also have a LinkedIn user. I'm guessing that's either Hallie or maybe possibly Shannon. Let me know. Their LinkedIn is weird and doesn't let them show their name. And then Heather, hello Heather, happy Friday. And then we got Danny. Yes, hello Danny. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you. He does these posts on Manufacturing Heroes, so I love his posts, and Andrew Crow's, of course. And then we have Justin, who just came in. So hello everyone. Thanks for joining in. Sheronda, let's get to you. Can you let us know some of your background and how you ended up with SME and in this wonderful sector of engineering and manufacturing?
Absolutely. But first, let me say thank you for this opportunity and just this community that you're bringing together. So I have a little shy of 20 years of association management experience in industries that all serve and support the built environment in some type of way, shape, or form. And so I started my career with architecture and design, and that evolved into the residential construction industry, structural engineering, and now in manufacturing. And what I have found working in the built environment is that there are great opportunities, right, to expand its reach to underrepresented communities, particularly minorities and women who are needed to help us address the skilled gap shortage that we have that runs deep and wide across manufacturing and all of the related industries. It's another reason why this podcast, like Mavens of Manufacturing, is so important, because it raises the visibility and awareness and celebrates women in the industry in particular, from the shop floor to the C-suite. So in November 2021, I received an amazing opportunity to continue to build on my association management and membership experience under the leadership of Bob Willick, who is the Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer at SME. He believes in membership. He believes in the power of community. And because of that, membership is being re-energized within SME. It is making not so much the numbers, but the impact to supporting innovation within the manufacturing industry. So I'm pleased to be here. I've been with SME for a little shy of 2 years, and we're rocking and rolling.
Can you give us some background on SME? Because it's been around for a really long time. I knew it was one of the older organizations, but when I first met you and you told me when it first started, it kind of blew my mind, because I was like, oh, I didn't know it was around for that long. So can you provide us some more information on SME for people who might not know about it?
Sure. So the Society of Manufacturing Engineers is started over 90 years ago in the middle of the Great Depression by 33 tooling engineers. At its core, it was a membership organization. Those individuals felt the need to come together to share knowledge and address the industry challenges. Our mission today, it has evolved. In fact, we go by SME because our scope has extended far and above engineers. We serve the entire manufacturing ecosystem. So SME serves the manufacturing ecosystem. Think of it like that in its totality, from our workforce development initiatives, our SME events that draw over 85,000 people biannually, our media publications. Many of them are our flagship publications like Manufacturing Engineering, Smart
Mm-hmm.
Manufacturing. Essentially, as a nonprofit professional organization, SME is committed to accelerating new manufacturing technology adoption and building North America's talent and capability. At the crux, that is who we are and what we represent. And in fact, membership, it still thrives and it continues to be that uniting thread with a membership base of nearly 15,000 people. One of the things that is unique about SME today is that we are the only organization that represents all facets of the industry. So we represent practitioners, companies and organizations, industry partners, academia, educators, researchers, and students. What people may not know is that we have a presence not just in the United States, but in Canada, Mexico, and in 15 other countries across the world. So I'm delighted to be at this wonderful organization, and it gives me chills every day to wake up and to help this community.
I think that's great that you're on an international basis too, because manufacturing is global. It's not just in one area, it's all over the world. So if you can extend out to those other countries and, collaborate and help build the infrastructure of manufacturing together, I think that's much better than competing with one another. I do want to ask you a few questions specifically about your membership. So you said that you do offer student membership. So can you give us some information on what that age range is and how students are able to afford? Because some of these organizations, they do offer really great memberships, but they're more geared towards anyone who is in the industry that have a business. So you can have like an individual membership, which costs over $100 most of the time. And you can have like a corporate membership, which is, a little bit higher because it's pulling everyone in from that corporate place into the organization. How are students able to afford an SME membership, and like what sort of benefits or advantages do they have with that specific membership?
Yeah, so I'm going to take a phrase from our friend Tony Neary, who is our
I
community
love her.
workforce development initiatives at SME. But she talks in a way where she says, quote, SME represents K through gray, right? And so that
I love
is
that.
really what we do. And we recognize that membership can be expensive for some. And so we offer high school memberships, a membership for $0. Any high school students that is in the manufacturing industry or curious about the trade, we encourage them to join at sme.org/join. And I'd like to highlight or underscore the fact that we also have a $0 membership for high school educators as well. And I think it's really important for our high school educators to know that because it's an easy way for educators to keep up on the latest trends in technology, help build curriculum around the newest and latest technologies and innovation. And then our student membership for colleges, universities, and technical institutions is $20. We have student chapters across the country that we help, really introduce them into careers in manufacturing, the different types of careers. So I think we try to make it as affordable as possible for people who are entering and who are early careerists. Even our early professionals, we have a discounted rate of $45. So if you're
That's
an
awesome.
emerging professional and you're and just entering into the industry, you can keep that membership level for up to 5 years.
That's awesome. And I think that's a great opportunity for anyone to take advantage of, because you have a lot of knowledge experts within SME who are working with these advanced technologies, and they're on the front lines of the industry. So any opportunities for like apprenticeships and internships, and if you're working with a company, more than likely they'll probably take care of that $45 monthly fee for any student that's working with an apprenticeship or internship. So that kind of is a good segue for my next question with you, because we do have this workforce shortage, and you mentioned diversifying it and looking into underrepresented groups and communities that we haven't traditionally tried to bring awareness to with some of these opportunities that are existing within engineering. So for businesses who are looking to attract the next generation and diversify their workforce, one of the ways they could really start today is become a member of SME and learn about some of your initiatives that could help really attract the next generation, because then they have your assistance in that. But what are some other things that they can consider to get started on, like right now, to get on the track to really bringing awareness to the next generation and diversifying the workforce?
Yeah, Megan, I think companies, businesses really need to embrace technological innovation. So our younger generation, they are digital natives. And so they eat, breathe, and sleep technology. And so our businesses, there's an expectation really for businesses to leverage technology effectively and efficiently. So I think to attract that generation, you have to be what they reflect. I would also say invest in your employees, invest in continuous learning and upskilling. This generation is looking for jobs that matter and that are meaningful, and investing in employees it makes them feel valued. And when individuals feel valued, they tend to stay longer with organizations. They accomplish more. They want to do more. And then I would also say, manufacturing can be a challenge in this area of what I'm going to say. But if you can offer flexible work policies, like paid time off, something that helps with work-life balance and family values, not just for the older generation, the younger generation, but for that mid-careers that may be taking care of a parent or a loved one, things like that. So it's important to offer these flexible workforce policies. So I think if you want to attract them, you have to create an environment in which they thrive. And so those are some of the ways that I think we can help to diversify our workforce.
I think those are great tips. And I do want to pull in some of these comments because our comment feed is going kind of crazy. We have Diana. She says, hello from Joliet, Illinois. Diana, you and I need to get together because I'm in your neighborhood. Like, I'm in Wisconsin. So let's talk after this. And then we have Frank, or Farak. Sorry, Farak, I mispronounced your name. He says, greetings. Hank Priam, I love him. His two girls watch every Friday. He calls them the junior board of directors. I'm going to actually go to Canada and interview his daughter. So I'm super excited about that. We have to connect. And then we have Danny Murphy from Lynchburg, Virginia. Heather says hello from, I don't know how to pronounce that, Herndon, Virginia. Sorry, Heather. I'm terrible at pronouncing things sometimes. And then we have James Soda, who says, amen, represent. James, I got to give a special shout out to, because he is the CEO of Industrial Strength Marketing, who is a partner with Mavens of Manufacturing. As you can see their logo at the top there. Really appreciate their team and their ideas and their creativity. They're awesome. They're doing their school while watching your great part of their education. Thank you, Hank. I appreciate that. He's saying hi to someone. Hank put up his Canada representation. And then James said Industrial Strength has been so pleased to host SME Chapter 43 at our Nashville headquarters these past 8 years. SME equals great people in Michigan. Love that. Yeah. Danny has a question. Does that membership apply to college STEM teachers who teach high schoolers?
It does.
Awesome. So how does that happen? Where can he go? You mentioned a website before. Can you give that website again, Sheronda, for Danny?
Sure. Danny or anyone can go to sme.org/join. In fact, we have a special going on, but I'll save that for later. But if you want to do a deep dive and get to know a little bit more before you pull the plug on membership, send an email to membership@sme.org, and our membership team will walk you through whatever questions that you may have, so that you can be ensured that you're making the best investment for yourself. But sme.org/join.
That's great. So then, I want to know what you have going on, because you have so many initiatives, and you've recently partnered with other organizations to kind of help broaden your reach. So can you let us know what we can expect from SME for the remainder of 2023? Because it's coming up. We're in September now, which is crazy.
So Q4, I just have to take a breath because we have a lot going on, a lot of excitement going on. In fact, this week, we launched an exciting new initiative, the Manufacturing Imperative Workforce Pipeline Challenge. It's geared toward addressing the manufacturing industry's workforce crisis and skills gap shortage. It's a 3-year pilot in partnership with community and technical colleges to build awareness of careers in manufacturing, optimize workforce systems, and accelerate the education and skill development needed to place individuals in jobs making family-sustaining wages. And I just want to underscore family-sustaining wages, because that is something that can change the trajectory of a family for generations. The ultimate goal with this pipeline challenge is to attract 1,000 individuals at each of the 25 participating community and technological colleges annually. That would result in 75,000 or more qualified workers in pursuit of manufacturing careers. The estimated impact of growing the industry's workforce in this way is $6 billion. So that's one thing we're doing, and I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to Janine Kuntz, who is our Chief Workforce Development Officer, and Deb Bolser, Tim Wilson on our team, Jacob Johnson, Denise Lipo, that really spearheaded this effort. But to be able to impact so many thousands of individuals coming into the workforce is just one of the things that SME is doing.
So can you repeat the name of that pilot program, because Heather didn't hear it the first time? And Danny is on here as well too, and he teaches at a community college in Virginia. So if a community college wants to get involved with that, how can they do that?
It's the Manufacturing Imperative Workforce Pipeline Challenge. Please send an email to membership@sme.org, and I can connect you to our workforce development team.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Sheronda. So what else is going on in 2023? Because we have October coming up too, and as we all know, that's Manufacturing Month.
Yep, we have Manufacturing Month. It's just a ton going on. SME is partnering with Wayne County in Michigan and the Henry Ford Museum on a Manufacturing Day project that is going to bring in students from across the Michigan state area. They'll do a museum, a tour of the facility in their museum. We have a wonderful webinar that SME membership is launching. It's open to everyone on Manufacturing Day, which is so important. It's called Empowering Diversity, Tackling the Labor Shortage in Manufacturing. Our friend Tony Neary, Megan, you'll be on that, as well as Andrew Crow. Shout out to him, and who is the founder of American Manufacturing Renaissance. Day John from Manufacturing Advocacy and Growth Network, and Jamie Gottler, Metalworking Sales and Innovation from MSC, Industrial Supply Company, which is one of SME's corporate members. So that we have a ton of things going on for Manufacturing Day, but also the month we have exclusive programming for our members throughout the month. So MFG Day 2023 is going to be lit. We are going to be doing exciting things. So I hope you all can join us.
Kathy Ryan wants you to dive in a little bit, because you did mention corporate membership. So can you dive in a little bit about the corporate membership and some of the benefits for anyone who wants to bring into their whole business?
Yeah, so I'm currently revamping our corporate membership program. And so what it will be is a three-tiered program. So if you're a small to medium-sized manufacturer, you can come and benefit and help us. Remember, SME is a nonprofit or organization. So for us to put on these types of programs, we need support from our corporate members. We're connecting our corporate members and partnerships through webinars, programming, and activity. We are putting on Bright Minds college experience at South Tech. Our corporate members are helping to fund that solution for college students in the Greenville, South Carolina area. But there are a ton of benefits. I encourage you to reach out to me personally at membership@sme.org, and I can share with you the levels of membership and how you can get engaged right away. One of the bigger things that our corporate members are helping us with is we're searching for corporate members and sponsors to help us as we initiate and launch our new mentorship program with the SME Education Foundation, which is our philanthropic arm. And again, in order to do these types of programs, our corporate members help in all facets and ways. And they also get unique opportunities to connect with others in a way that they would not if they were not members.
That's awesome. Kathy Ryan and her daughter would be a great addition to that mentorship program. I met her at Automate. She's known as the conveyor cougar, and she's just the daughter mom duo is just, they're fantastic human beings. Her daughter's name is Lauren. They're awesome human beings, and they would be such a great asset, especially for younger girls who might not know about the opportunities here in engineering and manufacturing. So Kathy, I hope you look into that and connect with Sheronda, because I think you guys would be a great addition
Please
to
do.
SME.
Please do.
So then anything else happening in 2023, or what are some of the initiatives going into 2024?
Well, I mean, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about CMTS. CMTS is going to be held in Toronto, September 25th through 28th. It's Canada's stage for manufacturing technologies, best practices, and industry connections. Leading industries will be there. Canada is our friend, and that will be a bang up job. And in fact, that same week is Member Appreciation Week for SME members. So we'll be celebrating in Canada. We'll be celebrating virtually and online. We have our Manufacturing Technology Series, which are 4 regional shows. 2 of them already happened, but we have one coming up in South Tech. I briefly mentioned that membership is going to be having a Bright Minds college experience, but there's also a Bright Minds student summit. There are a lot of partners who will be taking advantage of SME resources and the footprint of the SME event. It's a lot going on. And then in November, as part of the Manufacturing Technology Series is West Tech, that is co-located with AeroDef, which is a conference in Long Beach, California this year. AeroDef is produced by SME. A lot of people don't know how many, trade shows or shows in general and conferences that SME Events puts on, but it's at least 15 shows that we put on that brings over 85,000 people to these shows on a biannual basis. But AeroDef is produced by SME in partnership with other industry OEMs and focuses on aerospace, obviously, and the defense manufacturing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, lots going on. And, if you're a member of SME, we have something to do 3 to 4 days a week in terms of programming, webinars, coffee chats that are informal but exclusive events just for members. So we have a lot going on at SME.
Anything to plan for the first year of 2024? Because that's just around the corner.
It is just around the corner. Before I talk about the events that's coming up in 2024, I want to talk about the SME Education Foundation. The SME It's huge. The SME Education Foundation, annually they award millions of dollars in scholarships to graduating high schools, undergraduates, and graduate students pursuing 2-year degrees, 4-year degrees, advanced degrees in engineering. And the application, which I find is really interesting, is that if you apply for one, you essentially have access to 60 different scholarships. So a lot of people don't know that, it just it's like that residual benefit. So if you apply for one, you have access to them all. So check out our education foundation. The URL for that is smeef.org. So smeef.org. But I would be remiss again to not mention the SME Education Foundation, which many of our members support through contributions and donations. So that's a wow factor when you think about the millions of dollars that are being awarded in scholarships annually to these students.
So is that something that the schools would apply for, or is it for the students to individually apply for it? And we have to do such a better, because I didn't even know that existed until I spoke to you. And I'm sorry that I forgot about it during our conversation just now. But like that's the thing. Like when kids are in high school, if they're not guided to some of these opportunities, they're not going to know. Like there's a lot of things that I have to like tell my daughter what to watch out for, and I only know about them because of through my own experiences. So I try to like help make her life easier by giving her a heads up for some of these things. But if students and teachers and schools don't know about these opportunities, they're missing out on a lot of benefits. So I put the link in the comment section. Hopefully it pops up everywhere, because sometimes StreamYard doesn't do what it's supposed to, but and I can do it once this live is over with. But how do you bring awareness to schools about these opportunities outside of like platforms like Mavens? Like, do you go to the schools or?
Yes, our education foundation has big connections with what we call our prime schools.
Okay.
We are out in the field. We talk to lots of companies as we fundraise for money to talk about our scholarship program. The Bright Mind Student Summit encourages individuals to apply that way. And again, platforms like this are essential to getting the word out about the money that is available to our students.
So can companies donate to that educational program too? Because we asked before what companies can do to help, diversify the workforce and get in front of kids. And I feel like, I've heard this before, and I was so irritated when I heard this, but I was talking to a gentleman who was teaching a class at a school. He actually quit corporate because he's like, I realized that, if I'm not going to the schools and teaching them what I know from what I've experienced in the industry, we're not going to be setting them up for success as they graduate high school and want to enter fields like this. So he's like, I quit corporate to, pay back to society. And he was teaching them some first robotic stuff because they were entering a contest. And he's like, we have a board of directors. And he is like, we always ask for funding for some of our projects because we don't have a really high budget. And he's like, one of the members was like, well, my time is valuable enough. And he's like, yeah, it is, but so is your money. We kind of need that. So like, yes, expertise and knowledge are definitely a benefit and a value, but these kids, most of them are raising money on their own. And if they've never done it before, sometimes they struggle to hit those marks that they need to be successful in some of these programs. So is there a way for companies to donate to the educational fund and, not just their time?
No, absolutely. And we like time, but we like money as well. Right? So we fundraise, and yes, companies can support the Education Foundation as well as individuals. We won't turn anyone away who wants to help us accelerate the things that we're doing through the Education Foundation. So again, thank you for dropping the smeef.org website in the comments, because it's important. So companies, don't be shy. Please, if you have any questions after reading the site, I'll connect you with our VP of the Education Foundation. You can contact me again at membership@sme.org.
So Justin's been commenting, he's like, I've been thinking about becoming a member for a while, but Sheronda definitely just convinced me.
Hey, Justin, I welcome you. Please, absolutely.
And then he said, that's an amazing scholarship program. SME is doing some amazing work. Yeah, so I hope you guys really connect with Sheronda after this episode, because again, it's organizations like this that are helping us bring awareness to the next generation, but they're also helping with the current generation as well too, by providing them opportunities to upskill and continue their learning opportunities as well. And then, hey, Vince, my guy, glad you came to get this good stuff information. Who's Vince? Did I miss Vince? I must have missed Vince. And then it's hard to get the job done without funding. Time to put your money.
Yep. Agreed.
We're not shy. We're not shy on Mavens. And then Danny said, sign me up. I'll ask for money all the time. That's fine. So then anything else for 2023 or any other initiatives? I know you just partnered with Women in 3D Printing as well too. How is that partnership going?
So, yep, we did Women in 3D Printing. We had a partnership with them in conjunction with our Rapid Plus TCT this year. We continue to support their efforts and all that they are doing. They are still a critical component to us. We also partner with Women in Manufacturing, again, another organization that is celebrating and bringing awareness to women in the industry. We just recently did a virtual career fair with women in manufacturing under Allison Graylis's leadership. So applaud those efforts and look to our connection for 2024, just bringing more companies to members. We also have a reciprocal member for you all that who identify as female. We have individual students who join SME can receive a reciprocal Women in Manufacturing membership for $40. I mean, it's like the best case scenario that you can get when you're talking about the most bang for your buck in terms of membership. SME has hundreds of partners that I'm nervous to start calling them out because I know I would miss one or two. But we have hundreds of partners. It's what we do. We convene companies and organizations together to make an impact for the industry that is a collective opportunity to advance the industry together.
I think that's important too for everyone to understand, because if we keep working in silos, we're not going to grow this sector. And kudos to SME and WIM for partnering up and being able to offer that reciprocal membership, because, you know, as a young woman who's just entering in the sector, it can be a little intimidating, especially if you're in a community where there's not very many women involved in engineering, and our percentages are still low. And I just had a conversation with a young engineer last week or the week before, and she was saying, she's like, yeah, I have a lot of great male mentors, and she's like, I appreciate everything that I've learned from them. She's like, but I want a female mentor. And she's like, because there's just certain things I don't feel comfortable talking about with a man. And she's like, it's not like anything insulting, or, you know, it's not that I don't appreciate them, it's just I'm not comfortable talking about certain things. So I actually introduced her to WIM too. So I should tell her about this SME and WIM membership, and maybe she can join both programs. But for anyone who's joining in, WIM is Women in Manufacturing. They actually have their summit, their national summit, coming up at the end of September. It's actually going to be in San Diego. I was just in Austin and I talked to one of their members, and they're almost sold out. So they have over 1,000 attendees already signing up. So if you want to sign up, go now. and register for that event. Men are welcome too. But rumor is they're almost sold out. So if you want to attend, go register right now, so you can reserve your spot, because it's going to be a phenomenal event. And it's my first time, so I'm super excited. Super excited to go to San Diego. We just, I think I brought that one up. Danny said that. And then Megan, amen. It's so hard to get funding for materials while so much waste proliferates. Absolutely. The other thing is too, and Danny, you know this, if you pinch a cable, just go on LinkedIn and say you need a new cable and Fanuc will show up, because that's what happened with Danny. So take advantage of your social media. I agree. Where I'm from, they have no idea about the manufacturing industry. That was the same thing with Andrew Crow, where he came from. He didn't even know until, he got out of prison, and then manufacturing saved his life. So there's a lot of stuff going on that we just need to let people know about. And then, hey, my girls need ladies in the industry for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
So then, what about 2024? Can we talk about it?
Yeah, so 2024, we're ramping up for Rapid Plus TCT, which is North America's largest and most influential additive manufacturing show. It's a mammoth show. It is the show for additive manufacturing in industry. So we're ramping up for that. That will have student summits, college experiences at that show. And again, just quarter one is filled with, for me, lots of membership opportunities, education, and networking. We continue to strengthen our chapters at the local level with plant tours and virtual programming and learning. So just a lot. And I know that I'm missing something because SME is such a large organization, that we always have something going on. Our technical communities, our member-led technical communities in several different disciplines, additive manufacturing, composites, just a gamut. And so check with me, email me at membership@sme.org. Really, if you're interested in a technical community, we have tons of webinars, advisory groups to our conferences and showcases that you can get involved in. We need your help in order to succeed in what we're doing. So, keep us bookmarked and keep checking back for our upcoming events and activities.
I think I want to ask this too, because one of the questions I get all the time from people who are at a local level, they're just like, well, what can I do? Like I think people don't understand that you don't have to think whole picture. You don't have to do everything at once. Like if you're in a small community, you can do something in that local community, because when we all work together locally, it's going to expand and grow out to a national level. So you can start small, and you don't have to spend a lot of time. You can start with 15 minutes if you want to. For anyone who's not a member of SME and there's an event going on in their community, is there a way for them to maybe volunteer their time to get a sense and a feel of what SME is like? Like, can you only be a member of SME to volunteer your time to help with any of your events?
No, indeed. You don't have to be a member. Being a member would be more beneficial to you, but start out small. We don't turn away people because they're not a member. In fact, we open our floodgates to them because there is experience that we can learn from each other, and it's important. So our chapters, go to our local chapter events. You're welcome to attend. You're welcome to bring your expertise. Some companies, for example, may not allow for employees to join associations for governmental reasons or other reasons that are beyond me. So we don't want to dissuade those individuals from participating and helping us to advance. So yeah, we welcome them.
Awesome. Well, Sheronda, this has just been a jammed-packed information session, and I'm so excited to have you. But I do want to give you a chance to ask our audience a question. So if you had one ask for our audience, what would your biggest ask be?
So my ask would be for you to get connected, join a manufacturing association, Obviously, if you join the SME community, one SME connection can transform your future. So I encourage you to get involved, particularly with SME, to help make an impact. In fact, we have a fall membership campaign that happened to launch today as I'm on this podcast, right? But if you join today, you can get up to 33% off of a 1, 2, or 3-year membership. You can do that by visiting sme.org/join and then type in Fall Drive 23 at the checkout. So if you could drop that into the comments section, make sure you, if you want to join today, you can do so at the discounted fall membership price. Again, Fall Drive 23 is
So,
the code that you would need to use at the end of the checkout.
okay, so sme.org / what was the rest of that?
/join.
Join. Use code FALLDRIVE 23. Is it all caps?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
One word?
All one word. Fall Drive 23. You have to put the code in at the very end of the checkout in order to get the discount, but we're offering that today through the end of the quarter, I think November 30th. So this is your time to do it at a discounted rate and touch, taste, and feel what SME has to offer you and the manufacturing community. I guarantee that you won't think that you made a bad investment. It is indeed a good investment. And not just join, but engage. I mean, people don't get anything out of their membership really unless they engage. There's a ton of ways that you can engage through our member communities, our member council. We have so many different working groups that you can participate and join. You can write an article. You can spotlight some of the things that you're doing in the community. We want to serve you. We want to serve the industry. So help us do that and join.
That's really cool. So I did put that code down there in the comment section with the link. I'll make a separate post to remind everybody that they can get that discount. I think that's amazing. I mean, we totally planned that. We didn't, but
no, it's coincidental. I mean, it's perfect. We did it. We planned it.
We planned it. So, well, Sheronda, I just want to thank you so much again for joining us today on Mavens of Manufacturing. I think what you guys are doing as a nonprofit organization is amazing. And I hope everybody who joined today, you know, you're just as passionate about, you know, growing our sector as both myself and Sheronda are. So please look into all of their events, all of their trade shows, all of their opportunities. And like Sheronda said, just get involved, get engaged. When you're out and about in your own personal lives, just hype up this sector because that's what we need. We need to start bringing people into it and making people proud of US made again. So thanks everyone for joining us today. Sheronda, any final words?
Thank you. Thank you, Megan. Again, I really do appreciate the opportunity. I just appreciate our connection and I look forward to our continued dialogue and conversation. So thank you so much. Thank you to Mavens of Manufacturing and everyone who joined us today.
Awesome. A huge shout out to Industrial Strength Marketing. I appreciate James for joining us today. They are partner of Mavens of Manufacturing, and I'm super excited to be walking this journey with them. Also, another huge shout out to my sponsor of this episode, Fresh Horizons. All of my cool gear and swag come from a local company with it's a mom and pop shop. Their husband and wife, they have a few kids. They're amazing. So if you're looking for some fresh swag, go to Fresh Horizons and tune in for this message. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye. This episode of Mavens has been sponsored by Fresh Horizons Group. Fresh Horizons Group is a family-run company that was founded on the premise of helping organizations and businesses better tell their story through high-quality branded apparel and promotional items. Freshen up your brand by contacting Fresh Horizons today at freshhorizonsgroup.com.